Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's Lair. I'm your host, Larry the Chupacabra. We're back for some more War Thunder today, taking a look at the M4A3E2, which is codenamed the American Jumbo Tank. And it looks a lot sort of like an M4 with a really big, thick gun mantlet if I don't clip into this building. And aside from that, it kind of just looks a little bit big and chunky, like it's been hitting the donut stand at the 7-Eleven a little too often. And so the American Jumbo Tank is an American heavy assault tank. So basically they're like, we could really do with a tank with heavier armor that we could have slowly go into the thick of the fighting and be a bit of a brawler, running over trenches and taking big hits in the side. But we don't really want to change our manufacturing method. So the only thing that really is cast as a really big, thick turret is the turret itself. The armor on this thing is pretty hefty right along the turret. And then the rest of it, to get the armor a little bit thicker, they welded a second set of plating onto the sides and I think the front. So it's a pretty big, beefy vehicle, but it's certainly not the overpowered powerhouse that everyone thinks it is. It's got this stubby little 75mm cannon that shoots solid rounds and armor-penetrating explosive rounds, but it doesn't get grid penetration in Tier 3 in War Thunder, so I imagine its usage in actual warfare was just a little bit different. So I'm a little bit interested right now. When we start off, I didn't see any other enemies on the south side of the cap point where I figured I would defend from people sneaking up from the rear. So I spent a little bit of time here shooting at a random AI vehicle. And then there's this other guy here who's like sneaking up in this cute little tank. It's like a BT-5 or something. Is that him? This is him right over here, this crusty zombie. I'm not sure what his deal is, but I think he was sneaking down to capture the B point and coming back up. So we're gonna check out whatever... Oh, we got an M18 gun motor carriage hanging out here in the woods, way up north of the northern cap point. I'm not sure what his deal is. So yeah, sneaking around in the Jumbo, getting what kills I can, and you really have to be careful in the Jumbo. Because the Jumbo, it seems overpowered, and depending on where you shoot it, you're never going to get any penetration. But its armor is really thin down here by the tracks if you can sneak a shot in there between the wheels. It's got no armor in the lower rear, and honestly, if you shoot it right in the chest, in the meat, you can get a kill by just shooting it right here in the center of the chest, in the upper part of its chest. So it's really not that hard to kill, and it's certainly nowhere near as dangerous as people make it out to be, because, like, you have to be pretty surgeon precise with this cannon in order to kill people. So, as we flip around here, we have a guest coming in. We've got this saucy, Red Rich 101 player who's in an M152, who's had the same idea that I did. He's like, I'm gonna sneak in to the south side of the cap point, and then while we're over here, I'm going to sneak over behind the church, and I'm going to shoot anybody who happens to be hiding out. Unfortunately for him, most of our team has already kind of swooped in past the cap zone and is shooting at people over here. We've got one guy right here that I, for some reason, can't see. I don't understand quite yet how the replay system really works here in War Thunder, but we can kind of see the other people moving around. So he's moving up, and, well, I see him, and I'm just like, oh, really? You don't say, sir. It'd be a real shame if someone were to shoot you in the butt and make you dead. So we'll just clip him on the side, and I managed to take out his loader, and if you're in a big, fat, big honking, gun-throwing, you know, Russian tank, anything clipped with a loader is super bad. Because if you even get one high explosive off, which he didn't, I shot him pretty much immediately and ignited his ammo, If you get even one shot off, a dead loader means it's gonna take you like a freaking minute to reload your gun. And while it's a 152 millimeter gun, I mean, that's just poopy. So we're gonna sneak over here into these bushes where it's harder to see us. Back up a little bit because this other T-34 just kind of cruised past us. Not sure what he's doing, but I'm just sitting here and I'm shooting everybody in the butt that I can because they don't know that I'm back here yet. And when it comes to a jumbo, you do have a little bit of leeway if they're not very smart about where they shoot your armor, but you're not invincible by any means. So I've killed the T-34E, and now I'm just plugging holes in the side of this IS-1's turret. Unfortunately, I did not get the kill. It was sniped by an M4A3 with a big 76mm gun. But hey, I mean, you take what you can get when you can get it. So, I mean, that's not too bad. And somewhere around here, there's a T-34 who thought he was gonna be sneaky. Not really sure where he went. What's this Su-152? Oh, he's way up north. What is he doing up here? He is super alone. Oh, there's an M18 behind him. About to shoot somebody, I think. Maybe they're on the same team. I don't know. Oh, wait. Let's see what happens here. Oh, yeah, this M18 just nailed his ass. Alright, that was pretty cool. Oh, who knew that that was going to happen? Got a little Chaffee hanging out down south, fighting in the hills, trying to get to B. You know, there's all sorts of stuff going on in these battles that I didn't even know about. Should look at that. So, here's that T-34 that snuck behind us. Doesn't look like he figured he wanted to play ball with us. He's just shooting one of the AI tanks. Huh. Go figure. So, while I'm sitting here, here comes a KV-85. And the KV-85 is kind of a weird vehicle. The KV-85 is kind of like a baby IS-1. It's got this big, heavy turret. They haven't got the refined, angular frontal body of the IS-1, and he's pretty much already been shot up, thanks to our little M4A3 pal here, who's just literally obliterating everybody. So I've gotten a couple of kills, but I haven't really been annihilating people, because, you know, when all you have is these rigid armor-penetrating shells, you just gotta take what shots you can, and just hope that you get the assist. But you can definitely get some good explosions on people. So here's the T-34-85 that's kind of snuck around and is trying to get clips onto people who I managed to make explode. And that is the last kill that I'm gonna get here today. I'm about to get bombed. Which one's about to bomb me? Is it this guy, or is it... I think it's this guy. Is this... yeah. I think he's the one who just is about to get in... One of these guys is in a plane. And they're the one that murdered my face. But I don't know which one's which. I think it's this guy. This guy with the rockets. Does he have bombs? Oh no, those are bombs. Okay. So somebody's gonna zip in here and make my day not so great. Who is it gonna be? Am I already dead? Oh, I'm already dead. Yeah, it must have been that guy who dropped a bomb on me, but... yeah, the problem with a big, fat, slow-moving tank is you are a prime candidate for assassination. And there's just not a lot you're gonna do about it. So yeah, that was it for the old jumbo tank. It's kind of a sturdy vehicle, it drives pretty well, but, you know, honestly, it certainly isn't deserving of the sort of rumor mill reputation that I've experienced for it. It's actually a pretty darn fragile tank. If you know where to shoot it, that's pretty much KO. And it really doesn't do a very good job of competing at the end of Tier 3. So let's jump out here and take a look at its armaments. Alright, so here we have the M4A3E2, and let's take a look at its armor. So it's got a big whopping 177 millimeters here on the front of the gun mantlet, and it's got 152 millimeters on the side of the turret. So really, your best bet is to hide behind something and only show them your face. Aside from that, you've got 76 millimeters on the side, so you can handle some lower caliber Tier 3 shells poking at you. especially if you slant yourself so they only see this little crease here. However, the front of this thing is only 38 millimeters, not even 40 millimeters of armor. You've got another 114, 140 or so armor on the lower glacis here, where your transmission is hiding. But really, if they shoot you underneath here, between your treads, or in your butt here, or the front, you're pretty much screwed. And besides that, if you have an enemy with some rigid rounds, those little pointies, those sabot rounds, they're going to penetrate the sides of your turret, because it's not all that rounded. It's actually pretty flat, and they're also going to easily penetrate the sides of you. That's only 76 millimeters. It's better than the old M4, or, you know, the M4A2, but it's not a world-shattering bit of armament, and this gun is actually not very impressive, this 75 millimeter. This is really the jumbo 75 millimeter, and it's the same cannon that the M3 has. So, I mean, it's alright. My issue with it mostly is that, for its armor kind of being at the middle to the end of Tier 3, it's just not a very good vehicle. It gets beat up pretty easily if you're not careful. Now, where it really gets spicy is when you get into this, the 76 millimeter jumbo. Look at this guy. I mean, it's the same armament, basically, but it's got this much better gun, and this will actually penetrate and kill tigers, which is a lot nicer. You can kind of penetrate them now, but it's not very reliable. It can be kind of difficult, especially in like a clutch situation where you got to take a snapshot. Probably SOL. The inner workings are about the same as your standard M4 variety tank. You've got the gunner here, you've got the commander in the middle, you got the loader on this side, and then you got your driver and your machine gunner. Your ammo's right up in front, it's on the floor, and it's right behind the butt of the gunners and stuff. So if you get a good shot back up here through the rear, you might be able to ignite their ammo. Also, if you pop them in either one of their shoulders, depending on what ammo loadout they've got. Also, the frontal gap between the treads here, right here, between the first and second row of wheels, you can just pop a shot right here and make it go up like a firecracker. So, yes, it's a slow-moving, bulky murder machine, but just like the KV-1, especially the early KV-1s, it's pretty easy to beat this guy up. So that's it for this episode, everybody. I think that's it for the replay episodes. Not sure if I like the replay system or not, but I might try to do it a little bit in the future. So this has been the M4A3E2, the first American jumbo tank. I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra. Hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Have a good one, guys, and toodaloo.